Hello, this is my first video following the intro of my Sandbox project for English 3. And so, showing my English skills first and my English growth first, I will start with looking over my final paper for English. So, I was really proud of this paper, actually. A lot of people would say, "Oh, I'm really proud of this paper," not for the same reasons I would. A lot of people would say, like, "Oh, I'm really proud that I was able to write how many pages? 6.5 pages, 6 3/4 pages." But I really like this paper not because of its length, not because of how long it took me, but because of how it actually showed me as a writer, showed me as a writing personality. And I think that you helped me, you as in Mr. Ingham, showed me how I am, like who I am as a writer. And I think that that will really help me in the future when writing papers. And so I can go off my strengths, build on my strengths, and also I know my weaknesses better, so I can find them and work with them and try to be better generally and write better papers. And so one thing that I think was rather important in this paper were the short paragraphs. Now I had a few short paragraphs that Mr. Elm helped me find and build in my strengths. And I have this short paragraph, which is just a sentence, and it just introduces it's almost like a chapter title, almost like a mini thesis giving the idea of what's to come. And I have another one here that's just talking about, it gives the idea, gives the thesis of what's going to come in the next few paragraphs. And I really like that, but also it became a little detrimental to me at some points because it introduced ideas that I sometimes didn't really come up on. Like I think I did it pretty well in this one and described it really quite well. But up here, when I talk about how marriage was so important in their lives in this short paragraph, I don't fully break it down and talk about why it was so important. I give one or two examples in these next few paragraphs, but I don't really flesh out and fully understand why and how that marriage was so important for the upper class. And I don't support my idea well enough for this little mini thesis, and that was shown in the essay rubric. And you noted on this that it had a little bit of underdeveloped rhetoric, and I think that I can work on that now. On next papers, I can make sure that when I do this short paragraph kind of thing, when I introduce an idea with a 1 or 2 sentence paragraph, I make sure that I flesh it out in the next few paragraphs, in the next few long paragraphs. Excuse me. And I think overall I did quite well in this paper. Not, I mean, the grade isn't fantastic, but to me that's not really the important part. The important part is how I now understand some of my strengths and I recognize some of my weaknesses, and from here I can build up. And I think this was easily the most important English assignment that I could look and really understand my strengths and weaknesses. And from here, I can write papers that are much better than this, much better than I've ever written before. And I hope that I can take this and move into senior year and be extremely successful. So thank you for your feedback, and thank you for allowing me to use this sandbox and use this paper and this constructive criticism to really build and help me improve as a writer, because I now understand who I am as a writer and how I can build on my strengths and build up my weaknesses. So thank you. And that's the end of this video. Keep tuned for the next. It should be in the resulting playlist.